Hi and welcome, one and all. Today we will be hearing from the musician Ras Perez. He will be speaking about his autobiography entitled My Identity, Growing Up, Living in, and Leaving Dominica. The cover image holds some kind of message which we hope will be addressed by Ras Perez himself. This book was published in January 2023 and is available in English, French, and German. With that said, let's welcome Ras Perez to the microphone.
Yeah, man. Yes, I. Be up,
Hey.
So,
So, Ras, nice to see you here. What are the underlying reasons for writing this book, and who is it targeted to reach? And what should readers expect to learn or gain after reading your book?
yes, I. Well, that is not so simple, but not so hard. Well, the reason is like artistic and, cultural and everything. Just like composing songs. Why people compose songs and sing them and allow other people to sing them. It's like a matter of doing things and sharing them with others, experiences, sonic and otherwise. So the book was just a little insight into a lot of things that happened so far. And the audience is anyone who can read, because it's not a novel, a fantastic storybook. It's about a real life experience. So everybody can learn something, and it's more or less designed to let people have more faith and confidence in themselves, no matter situations you might be going through or how you were born and raised. Yeah, you only key to make a difference. So the book is more or less kind of little story about that in life, and I'm just one of the countless amounts of people who have written their autobiographies and shared it with the world.
Yeah, nice. Well, can you give a brief breakdown on the three chronological aspects of the book? The growing up part, the living part, and the leaving part?
Yeah. Well, yeah, the book is really about it. Growing up in Dominica in the 50s, living through, as a teenager and young man. And then finally, mashing out, as we say. So the growing up part was really unique in the 50s, village without electricity and so on, forth and stuff. It's not like today at all. Transport systems. My dad was a transportation specialist, a driver. He was also a very good mason. He could build ovens, which people could build houses, but not anybody could build an oven, a stone oven. So he knew the kind of trick to make the kind of igloo kind of stuff, the top. So I grew up in a household where my mother was a sage-femme, they say in French, but a midwife. So I heard stories about babies and everything associated with that. And yeah, I grew up not really like the average general friend around, because we had access to books and stuff and radios, electricity, the whole village was in darkness without official government electricity, and then we had our own dynamo and everything, or shop, fridge, truck. My father would drive a truck, he had a car. I learned to drive from a very young age, which is what I studied the book with, just taking his truck and go with my friends while he was asleep.
Okay.
So that was the growing up part.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is the focus,
Yeah,
yes?
the
So
focus.
what about the living in or leaving part?
The living in part was Yeah, we come from the south side of Dominica, Grand Bay, with a kind of reputation, but it started throughout history. So we always were free-minded and independent people in Grand Bay, always did our things with what we thought was right for us and the community, regardless of what written law or whatever it was. So we ended up forming up basketball team, cricket teams. At this time, we didn't even know who the government was. When we made the basketball court by the church, we just got together. The priest gave permission, and that was it. We never asked for government help. I don't remember who the government was. There was no government input. We just got together, built the court, check it out. Just like the cricket, myself and Sherman, that's all. When we had the Eagles Cricket Club, we would get a bag of flour from the surplus, make sure we could cook some dumpling, red beans, and chicken for any team, and send out requests for guys to come and play, man.
So you was playing cricket too?
I was a cricketer, yeah, wicket-keeper and everything. We had our team, and then we would invite guys, and they'd be willing to come up, play, share equipment.
All right. I guess a lot of people might know or will know for sure that Ras Perez is a big basketballer, but cricket, I surprised.
Yeah, cricket, Eagles Cricket Club. And what we would do is take note of everything. We had our scorebooks and everything, and make sure the New Chronicle in town had a little write-up about the matches, So I remember the first time I saw my name on the papers, oh yeah, Ace Centilla wicket-keeper, stumped out so many guys. But that was another thing, So growing up was very sportive, and then when the music came to, Ebonites Orchestra, Stephen Osborne, Hartwell, and mine and them, they got some instruments from town, and well, they started actually. Ebonites started with Mr. Richards, Harold Richards, so rest in peace. Yeah, when he was transferred to teach again in Grand Bay, and I was attending the Grand Bay Boys School, and he looked at me and said, "Oh man, I taught your dad, so I might be teaching the children." What? I couldn't understand that, because he thought my father was true, and he was telling me maybe he might end up teaching my children. At that time, I didn't know how people make children.
Alright, yeah.
Although my mother was a midwife.
I guess a lot of people will be interesting now to go, especially in that part growing up, because of the big difference to nowadays.
Yeah.
And the living part is
Wait, before the living part, we must go on the music part, because Mr. Richards,
yeah, sure.
he was responsible for the training of the guys who eventually formed the Ebonites Orchestra, which eventually led to how the musical, modern music took a real deep foothold in Grand Bay. Because before there were bands, my father played in a local band long ago, but it was just brass and horns, not really amplified. Unity Hall and these places, big tradition in Grand Bay, but people don't know about these things. But when Mr. Richards came, he trained the guys, and they formed the Ebonites. They could read music and write, and that laid the foundation for everything else up to today, So we have to give respect to these guys, the Ebonites and Mr. Richards. And at the same time, basketball became popular too. We formed our team. We played the Rosso guys. We won a championship. I don't remember what year. But we had some good fights on court with Cardinals and them and them. Yeah, it was hefty. And people were proud of Grand Bay at the time. We would invite them to come to Grand Bay on Sundays to play friendly matches. And a lot of people would turn up by the church just to check it. Yeah, vibes. So that was the living in part. With my attendance at Mary's Academy, in early 60s, got to know Rosso and the whole Rosso life, which something was different than Grand Bay.
How?
Well, Rosso, at nights, people never used to cook food for their supper. His bread and something and tea, whereas in Grand Bay was a full-fledged yam pay and fish, and dashing and fig, man, nighttime is big supper, people used to sleep with heavy stomachs. So
Does
in
it
town,
have something to do with the sunset, sunrise difference?
it's a culture. Rose's Butterflap, Eric's Bakery and stuff. Not everybody, but the general thing, you Grammy people eat in the countryside fresh fish from the night, vola bala or whatever they come with. But in town, people don't kind of have to mission town. So it's a culture of cacao tea and a bread with corned beef, something, but not heavy food like in the country. So I had to get used to it, when I
So
started
this was in the living
living in Dominica Park.
living in
Yeah. Basketball,
yeah,
music,
Roseau.
Roseau, SMA, secondary school, everything. Yeah. And then the living part. So after a while, music in Dominica got popular and there was no studio in Dominica, so everybody used to go to Guadeloupe or Martinique to make a record. Everybody would make a record. Exile was mashing it up. Big respect, Gordon and his boys. They thrust the kind of music up. Dominica became popular through cadence slip, so groovers come on the scene. Hefty rhythm and Dominica made a name. Although there was some problems, the music was popular, but because of politics and groovers never used to really get the push they needed at the time. And Chubby is a very special man. He's not the kind of man that would just jump into any kind of nonsense. Good lyricist, So they tried to, but in the end, they prevailed and their music went where it had to go. And the guys don't know it, but Midnight Groovers in Africa is a big name. Yeah, respect. Know that, man. They have to know that. Big respect. Groovers as big as Exile, Casa, or any one of the Midnight Groovers. A friend gave me a cassette once here in Berlin. Oh, African reggae, and I listened. I heard Chubby and all the guys. It was a combination of Chubby's good reggae songs like "Why Can't We Be Free" and
So how comes somebody end up with that? Does it have secret recorders
No.
recording Chubby or?
No, well, they actually made albums. So the albums were on sale in Paris through the Martinique Connection. So if some African person or somebody got a hold of one. All you need is one album, and because it was a cassette I had, you record cassettes to play in parties and stuff, and with groovers music, like Uchio and Africa, or party music and go-go. So a lot of guys, had made good business. Because they would just say it's an African band. It's an African band because it sounds like Congo music, it sounds like that, and they don't really understand the language. It's part of Otio, Willie Mama, no? They go, Mama, so, and it's African, so enjoy it all over Africa. Yeah, Chubby, they must know that, it's up to today, man, Midnight Groovers, yeah. Especially songs like Africa, Africa, just that word, they know, oh, these are our brothers on the other side calling, Yeah. So we had to leave Dominica to go make recordings. So when we went, Martinique, Guadeloupe is quite different than Dominica, man. So we kind of opened our eyes, and then some stayed, went back, but some of us chose to just move on.
Did you ever had serious plans to visit Africa or even live in?
Well, yeah, up to now, but it's not something that can be rushed. What's to be must to be. So because some people have all kind of ideas of Africa. Some think it's a powerful place where the children and the kids. No, some see pictures of big concrete jungle style, big cities in Africa. They think, oh, it's like New York. Or, no, Africa is Africa. So when the time comes,
Okay, so when you said the living part is about living DA, so yeah, can you give us a hint where you were going to? I guess a lot of people might have checked that already online on your webpage.
Yeah, well, first of all, most of my friends I went to school with, they left long before me. I was one of the last ones to finally, okay, let's try overseas, Because everybody after school, visa, Canada, New York or wherever, and gone, and I stayed. that's why I stayed to play basketball and music and stuff. By that time, most of my friends had moved out. But finally, it just came not by hazard, Yeah, so living in Dominica again. I met Dominic after we came from playing basketball by the churchyard in Granby. She was at home, she was stranded, she couldn't get a ride to go back to town. She and her friends, so my mother took her in to sleep at the home because we had a big home, big house, 4 bedrooms. And she went to sleep by her friend, my mother. So we stayed there the night, we talked a lot, and then, yeah, we get close. She was surprised we had a Miles Davis album there she had been looking for years in a silent way. So we talked till next morning or so, and then, yeah, we got close, and next thing you know, in about 2, 3 months' time, we were married. So I went to live in Guadeloupe with her and stuff. And then she moved to Dominica, 79. Just as she moved on, Hurricane David blew up everything. So we ended up building a house in Highland, Granby, and lived there for a little while she taught French in the convent high school. But then afterwards, she wanted to move back, so she moved back to Guadeloupe. Everything was okay, you know. I used to go up, down, I had the instruments, bass drum, guitars. Spend 3 months in Dominica with them, and bring them back to Guadeloupe, bring them down, then bring them up. But then Eddie from Salt Lake tried to call me after a while. Yeah, I must come up to check him out because he has a band, but cannot find members, and just come and check him out. If I like it, I would stay, blah, blah, blah. So I decided, yeah, why not? And Dominique knew up there, well, she had spent some time traveling all around. So to me, yeah, it's a good opportunity to go expand and see the world. So I left, I contacted Yvette in New York. Yeah, you can come and spend some time. CC was up there, so CC arranged to pick me up at JFK. Everything okay, passed through Puerto Rico, land there. New York, first time, 6 o'clock, Soleil Cavante. We didn't know that in Dominica, so went by Yvette, check out all the guys living in Apple, Hashi, Bezo, this, that. And then on the Monday, that was a Saturday, I think. On the Monday, we went down to where SCC was based, North Carolina. Spent some days there with him, drove down. And I took a bus to Salt Lake from Raleigh to Washington, D.C., and then straight across, Thursday to Sunday. 40-minute stop. Serious business. I had a camera, so I took picture after picture, finish, get a new film when we stop somewhere where they sell film. And I arrived in Salt Lake on the Sunday afternoon. I met with Eddie, and I had to sleep because that trip was something else. Spent a year there, with Eddie's band, new songs and stuff. Reggae was getting popular, and guys like Papa Pilgrim would push the vibes. He had a radio program. I would be there every Monday, Wednesdays. They'd always invite me to come and check us, spin, talk. And then 1 year later, I went back to meet Yvette in New York because the Salt Lake scene was, it wasn't really progressing. So from New York, I contact LAC, a new generation band in Boston, Afterton and the man Randy. So there was another trip, up and down, that 3-hour trip to up and down, practicing Harlem, play up in Boston, Cambridge area, Rhode Island, the whole coast. Yeah, that was a nice vibes. And then in the winter, back down to Guadeloupe, 88.
Mm-hmm.
Spent some time there, and then the only thing on my mind to be in Paris for that 89 centennial, bicentennial, tri-witch centennial. So I made it there, Paris, and next trip again, couple day man, Doba, Jumbo, Lion. But I met with some Martinican guys, Ragadub, serious man, and then Mosaya Big, RIP, Ibis, Christian. So they were kind of backup band for DJs. So them guys had a work ethic that was tough. We used to practice from 1 in the afternoon till 1 in the morning.
That
You
was
could-
in Paris?
in Paris, yeah. Studio practice. And there was another brethren managing the vibes, you know. I live up, so you just come listen to practice and then go to whatever office, meet up with people and thing and inform when there was a deal. So
Okay, that's
So-
why your book is in French too, because
Yeah.
you have there a lot of connections.
yeah, we
I
spent
see.
5 years there backing up the DJs, man. Bad Boy, Daddy Odd, Sai, Toto David. So Ragadub was the band of, of the town at the time, you know. It was real tight, you know, two keyboards, guitar, bass and drum. I was playing guitar at the time. Because the thing is, we practiced so much that after a while everything was just, oof. And then the tours came, you know, we had to tour there, 2 weeks on the road, big boss, everything. Then I started to understand the vibes. That was nice, you know. Tom and on board, everything you want, everything, just execute.
Would you do it again nowadays to tour through States or France or I don't know?
Well, nowadays is the next kind of headache. Everything changed, you know. But to be on stage is a pleasure, you know. So, yeah, it's
Okay, great.
it's not the same as writing a book because you're talking a book. Yeah, the book is about the touring and the playing and the this and everything and everything. you know.
Alright, so yeah, we were looking forward to see which concert in which spot next time. So yeah, so I guess that has something the image we wanted to talk or I wanted
yeah, the
to ask
cover.
you about. I guess it has something to do with them three chronological aspects, right?
Yeah, but if you have to put the book again, let's quick.
There I seeing the flag and a bird. And the
Right.
bird.
Okay.
Ah,
So my identity is, well, there's an I, you know, kind of play on words, my identity, because everybody wants to know, have a deeper understanding of who we are and who everybody is. So it's like, if you observe, the bird is flying out of a kind of round shape image of what's supposed to be a Dominican flag. Yeah? Let's be clear, because I never see a round flag. Well, it was after Maria, some parrots ended up in Guadeloupe, I think. Because Dominican national bird was also supposed to be, I'm not too sure, the Amazonia imperialis parrot. But something happened, I think, somebody got a hold of them and breed them in the so it's no longer a Dominican bird. It's, I don't know. There was a news story around that and the government, they were sold for safekeeping, or it's not clear. But you cannot, let's say, claim like before, Dominica is the only place with that parrot. No, it's other places now. So like the parrot fly out, man. Maria, you know, the wind and stuff, parrot gone. So it's just like a lot of Dominican people who were born in Dominica, lived in, and now living overseas. They come back for Creole Festival, World Carnival, come back for this, come back for that, but they live overseas now. The base, they have a house, they have come in Moss Hotel, it's no problem. But they live in Boston, or America, the world. So I cannot speak for everybody. I'm only one of those who was born and lived in and left. And it doesn't mean that to say we're not coming back, because at the back of our head, oh boy, I'll go back to Dominica, or I wish I could go back and do this or that. But then you listen to the 115 years, and, okay, God. So that's it, you know, we've left and we will come back, but we don't know it. Yeah, because I'm gonna say, but Dominica, I'm going back again. Nah, I doubt anybody think at the back of your head somewhere, when I don't know what, you know, some people it's politics, some it's this, it's that, they say the mentality change. I don't know. But we always want to go back because it's here we were born, it's here we know, we are Africans, that's true, but Dominica for Dominicans is Dominica. I never really hear Dominican criticizing, oh, Dominica is an old place, fuck up. No, man. They might say that minister, mister, they call him names of Gogo, eh? Politics, but everybody love the DA, nice water, that DA people nice, there are bad fellas everywhere. But DA people okay, compared to other things I've seen over where I've been and things, DA okay, man. Don't let nobody fool you. You know, it does that society making us want to fight one another against Mr. Who red, who blue, who green, who that, this and that. Well, so it is for now. Can't go against that. But we don't have to just be cool. Once you know, all of us are Dominicans, everything okay. He's a Dominican, so why you? He's a Dominican. All of us, so why not? And when you look at the big picture, but Dominicans half Martinic, the mother from Guadeloupe, the father from, but you see, so then it takes the whole world. We all the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
and I guess a lot of people want to know more about how it was in the old times in DA because maybe they're second generation or what, and they didn't experience that growing up part. So, yeah, that is an interesting book for especially for them, but I guess for every reggae lover. So yeah, what I would be interested in is how did you get the idea to write this book or when?
Well, the when I wouldn't know. I didn't mark the date. But I've written a lot of stuff. On our website, rasperez.com, Rutical Vibes, I used to just write articles, call myself all kind of names. I did an interview with myself once. Tululu interviews Ras Perez. What I'm the Tululu, I'm the Ras Perez. I just put the questions and the answers. And all kind of articles like can reggae be sold or just check Rutical Vibes. Ras Perez, if you like to read, a lot of reading, a lot of points of view on different things to do with music, and it's about Berlin. Yeah, Berlin reggae runnings, Rutical Vibes.
Okay, so that is the Berlin part, and the book is more.
Yeah, the book ends in Berlin. As a matter of fact, the book doesn't have anything about my experience in Berlin. It's when I took the train from Paris the second time. I came up first in '92, Christmas. Check, Lapo and the man and them big squad, tearing it up over the place, man. Serious guitar over the dubs and stuff. And Lapo got some motivation, man. And then Tiki that just come up too, So I came up and made some videos for them, check vibes. And then in January, I came back up. Yeah,
And
from
then
Paris.
after all the music experience you make in Germany, you was planning the book.
Actually, yeah. Because from the time I started to make the Rutical Vibes, put them everywhere for free, just write thing on a fair paper, and just put them in all kind of reggae clubs and stuff. People just reading the articles about reggae in Berlin. So, yeah, that's the idea to, why not? So I studied, I think it took about 6 years from start to finish, the English version. But the translations was not really a big, it's not really. Once you have it once you can get the others easily.
Very nice. And did you plan, or do you have any plans for editing or revised version or translation to other languages besides the 3 already available?
Yeah, well, I would like it to be in Chinese too, if possible. Or whichever language, whoever is interested, but I think that's just generate interest somewhere. Spanish too, because Ras Perez, everybody think I'm from Cuba or Santo Domingo. And then Pasapal is Spanish, I try to learn all the time, but I never have the time. But I know some words, but it should be really in Spanish. Ras Perez is Pere, Ras Perez.
Great. Yeah, that would be nice. I guess the mm, Spanish speakers would enjoy that. And what about the ones who got the book already? Or what was the public's reaction after the publication?
Well, actually, it's not something I really look out for. Eh? Nobody, to speak it true, reach out and say, "Oh man, I read a book," and blah blah blah. And I don't look to see, because there's another point. To speak the honest truth, effort into promotion. I have to blame myself a little for that, yeah, because I didn't really go aggressively to promote and promote, because so many books printed. Although everybody is different, but I think after this interview here, I will try to go upon what I will call a promotion blitz, to try to, no, more or less, not the correct word, but impose it on the eyes of potential readers,
I
people
see.
who could be interested, you know.
Yeah, I see. It's a lot of work beside the music, which is your main focus, I guess. And I, I think you also mixing and mastering and everything, so it's a lot of
Well, yeah, to
stuff to do.
to really go book-wise to push it, although it's a matter of workflow and everything, because music itself, when you start, it takes some kind of concentration, you know, you have to dedicate hours, yeah? One song, piece of a song or whatever, it's not just blah blah finish, you know, it takes, so you have to concentrate and know exactly what to do and thing. And the book, it's a matter of more like telephone and writing emails or researching and looking for openings. Yeah? It's another kind of work, you know. Yeah. The music part, you know, compose, record, master, whatever it's inside, you know, you have to think and listen and be attentive and to do the work of the marketing of the and publicity. It's, you know, you have to deal with certain physical things like computer, email, telephone, and stuff. You know, it's another discipline again. Yeah, but yeah, it can be done. Yeah.
And what are um, the similarities and or differences between the book and other artistic works? For example, music,
Yeah.
where you are well known and appreciated.
Well, with music, definitely playing an instrument, you kind of, it's possible to get kind of what they call high. You know, you can get, it can make you feel a kind of way. You can play on your emotion. And reading a book also, but it's a different thing. The music, the sound being the foundation of everything. You know, it's the same, but not the same. Yeah.
Great. So yes. Do you plan to do music and or book tour anytime in the near future?
Well, definitely not this summer, but it's something I'm looking forward to, especially after doing this interview here. Yeah. I've never thought of it before, but it's worth looking into. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, we were looking forward to hearing from you and your band. So, Ras Perez, thank you for your time and hope to see you soon.
Okay. Thank you.